It was supposed to be a quiet weekend. Just me, my sister Emily, and her twokets. Gabe and Leia off the grid, off the radar, out of reach from every home-mail ping or complaint thread. I'd stocked the fridge at my coastal cabin, checked every security system twice, even ran a full scan on the AI-based locks just for peace of mind. That place tucked past the dunes on the edge off Seabrook Point was my escape hatch frommed noise. And it wasn't just a cabin, it was a boundary. A hard line I'd drawn. Me and the madness inland. So imagine my face when I drove up Thegrovale Path and spotted 3 total strangers wheeling suitcases toward my front gate like it was some beachfront rest check-in. 2 women, 1 man, mid-30s, dressed like they just left ASPA. One of them smiled and waved like were old friends. I didn't wave back. "You must be the owner," the guy called out, friendly as can be. "We've been trying to get the code to work." "The code," I said, stepping out of my truck, already feeling that throb behind my left eye. He pulled out his phone. Yadot from Airbnb said, "This place, Nest, was booked for the weekend." Efros took the phone, and there it was. My cabin, my photos. A fake name, sure, but the location pin landed exactly where it shouldn't. My exact coordinates. I looked up, my voice low. "This isn't a rental. This is my private property. That listing is fake." That didn't go over well, but we paid one-offed women, snapped, "We have a confirmation number. It says you're a kecking us in." They've been scammed, I said flatly. "Now I need you to leave." They didn't like that either. Mumbled about fraud claims, bad reviews, and how unprofessional I was. I didn't bother aching. My focus was on one thing. How the hell did my cabin end up online with photos only I'd shared with my architect 5 years ago? Back inside, I locked everything down, re-encrypted the gate, scrubbed the codes, pulled up logs, and then I saw Intima stamped from the night before. A woman with blonde hair, beige caprice, and a clipboard. Karen Dolman, Hope resident of the Seabrook Bluffs development, a few hundred yards inland, she was leading what looked like a tour group around my fence, pointing at my deck, smiling like a damn realtor. Someone even snapped photos while she waved her clipboard like a magician unveiling a grand illusion. I sat there in stunned silence. Karen, the woman Hoons tried to find me for unsightly dunagrass, was now advertising my cabin like it was part of her HOA fantasy brochure. I barely slept that night. I dug in TF fake listing username Coastal East Coast. The description made me laugh bitterly. A peaceful ocean view stay managed in full partnership with Seabrook Bluff Show, full partnership. I'd never even answered one of their letters, let alone Elise. Next morning, I found Alator taped to my gate. Heavy paper, gold foil seal, HOA logo, shimmering like Kia, bad joke. It said that per verbal arrangements with acting president, Karen Dahlman, Alaxis points to the shared guest facility should remain unlocked on weekends to avoid confusion. There was a forged rental agreement. My name typed beneath a signature that almost looked like mine, but not quite. I took it straight to the sheriff's office, brought the video, the listing fellies. The deputy looked sympathetic until she checked. With her supervisor, technically sir, she said, "This is a civil matter. No forced entry, noon-going trespass. We can't intervene neat." That yet burned in my ears all the way back to the cabin. Double security, new lock codes, motion alerts, facial recognition. I was still tightening sensors when I heard Sumian echo my name. "Hey Nate," it was Greg Miklos' neighbor, retired NASA engineer, a guy who could fix a satellite dish blindfolded but never got involved in HOA drama. He leaned on my fence mug in hand. "Heard about the Airbnb mix-up. Karen's been talking." "Talking?" I asked. "She told the board you were trying. Outsome community guest sharing initiative that it's all informal, soft extasbore going full short-term rental is stared." Greg chuckled. "Nate, you've got more encryption on this place than the Pentagon. I don't belevode Airbnb it without laser tagging bath towels." That made me laugh, but deep down, something twisted. Karen wasn't freelancing. This was planned, documented, pitched. Saturday morning, Iran to town for eggs and snacks for the kids. I was gone 2 hours. 2, when he pulled back into the drive, I knew something was off. Towels hung over me deck. Music blasted from a portable speaker and through the window. I swear I saw a child doing cartwheels on my living room rug. I stepped inside and a woman I'd never seen was in my kitchen, pouring orange juice in toastless wine glasses. "Oh, you must be Nate," she said brightly. Karen said Yao wouldn't mind. I didn't answer. She said you weren't using the place, that we could enjoy the beach just for the weekend. I'm Danielle, Karen's sister's friend. Hope that's okay. It wasn't I asked her to leave. Firm, polite. She hesitated, stunned. But Karen said Shelley'd. I called the sheriff again. This time, I made it clear this waste-trespassing officer showed up. Danielle admitted Karen gave her the code. Then, like clockwork, Karen herself peeled up, linen wrap, cold, brew in hand, fake smile, locked and loaded. "Nate," she chirped. "Bit of a misunderstanding, huh? You gave out my access code," she scoffed. "Relax, it's not like you were using the place. These families just needed air sun kumatispirit. We're not a community," I said. "And this isn't a damn commune." The cops kept it civil, but I insisted they fill a report. Karen tried her usual charm. Talked about underutilized parcels and DECA system, trust building. I just stared. That night, I called Julia, an old colleague, now assistant DA. I laid everything out. She didn't even hesitate. "Jesus, Nate," she said. "Just HOA drama. This is fraud." She set up a case folder. I upload everything, photos, videos, fake lease code logs. By Sunday, she had a prosecutor looped in and a digital criminalist flagging the listing's IP, the signal traced to Seabrook HOA's internal Wi-Fi. The PayPal account, Tedto, the rentals under Coastal Living Elk registered to a P.O. box owned by Crean's husband. That was the tipping point. A judge issued an Karen Gothit with a no-contact order. Their community budget frozen pending investigation. But it didn't end there. The story hit local news. Then National Lecho president rents stranger's cabin without permission. My exterior camera footage of Karen handing the keypad Codetto a fake guest. Viral hashtags took a fat nachu cabin. Karen Gate. Air issued a public apology and confirmed they'd cooperate with law enforcement. They traced over $18,000 in unauthorized rentals, all funneled into Karen's private LLC. By the end of the week, Theta filed formal charges. Wire fraud, identity theft, trespassing, misappropriation of property. Karen was arrested. I watched the footage of her being led out in cuffs from my porch beer in hand. I've never saved a JPEG faster than that mugshot. A month later, she took a plea deal, 14 months in county jail for years probation, banned from ever serving in an Hohagen. The civil case followed. Julia helped me file for damages, trespass, stress defamation, digital breach. The court awarded me $310,000 plus full reimbursement for every upgrade I'd made. Karen's husband, Treddo, distanced himself, claimed ignorance, but those PayPal receipts had his name. He settled quietly. Their house went up for sale. As for the HOA, State Board froze their assets, launched a power drained overnight. Greg Henniver came by again, probably for Thebist. I saw the meeting notes. He'd signed off as a liaison. I didn't seek revenge. I fortified. 10FT Steelgate, facial recognition, noise-triggered floodlights, drones, even a panic switch wired to my lawyer and sheriff's. Over the gate, I hung a sign. Private property, trespassers build per night. My sister and the kids' finale came out. We grilled burgers, skippadrox. Gabe named one of the drones Buzz. Leia trained another to follow her like a seagull. And 3 weeks later, I did something I never expected. I gave an interview. A podcast wanted to hear how a private homeowner took down an HOFraud ring. I shared my story, my tech, my warning. When they asked if I believed in community sharing, I smiled. Start by respecting the locks. The episode went viral, and somehow this nightmare turned into a blueprint, a warning, a precedent, and one hell of astry. If you've ever dealt with overreaching HOA power or had your property rights trampled by entitled neighbors, I want to hear your story too. Drop a comment below. Was justice served or did they get off easy? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still thinks such HOA means helping our area. Yeah, sure it.